And we welcome you to another edition of the Mangia Cast. Bob Papa, Giant Insider Newspaper Podcast. Chris Bizignano. All right, the first wave of cuts done. Waiver claim. We got a big show, but we got to start it off with a chin,
my friend. I got a little Dow again. I don't know about you.
So do I. I got the Dow.
I went back to the Dow.
Right. So you can go to the Believe shop and get yourself a chin glass for the Mangia Cast. Hey, Biz.
Yo.
Before we get into the business, we're going to get into a lot of food tonight because you and I went to a place that Sinatra used to have his bread flown in from all the way out to Palm Springs back in the day from Antique Bakery in Hoboken, which is now a restaurant, Antique Bar and Bakery. And we're going to take our viewers tonight on a little tour of this magical restaurant in Hoboken.
And magical it is. Pop, that place was out of this world. I mean, they are going to get a lot of new customers after this, baby, after we show them what's up tonight. Because, you know, when Lindsay, our producer, showed the cut-ups, I was looking at the food again, Bob, and I was like, holy shit. Me and Papa are going to get back there real fast because that place was great. What better owners, right? Joey and Bobby. Go ahead, Bob. Tell everybody about them, how great this place is.
Yeah, I mean, Bob Costello and his brother Joe, it was their vision. Joe came up with the concepts internally, 130-year-old brick oven. You know, it inspired me, Biz, because a lot of our fans are like, and we're going to take an incredible tour of Antique Bar and Bakery restaurant in Hoboken. But I decided to whip something up because we haven't really had any dishes. What do you think?
Is that a little spice in there, baby, in that lobster?
So this is a spicy lobster. On Instagram, I follow Chef Max Mariola from Italy. He's got a restaurant in Milan. He's awesome. And he did this lobster dish. And I looked at it and I'm like, wow, this is easy to make. So it literally, I made this thing, spicy lobster, inside of 30 minutes. And I'm going to take everybody through it later in the show on how to make this. But it's pretty simple to make. I know you can't make it because you can't cook.
Why do you always have to put down my potential to whip up a nice meal?
Because I'm waiting for you to actually whip something up one day.
Yeah, but no, you shoot down my potential. You're like, right away, I know you're not going to do it in 30 minutes, but yeah, like, whatever, you know, you're supposed to be my partner here, and you're shooting me down constantly with the cooking aspect of the show. So I'm going to have to start whipping some stuff up for you to say, oh, wow, you could do it.
No, you're going to order out and then say, hey, look what I made.
you think I'm going to cheat on you?
Speaking of food.
So how did it come? You got a little linguine on there just before we go into anything else?
Yeah, it's a nice thick little linguine. It's just got tomatoes. I'm going to show everybody how to make it.
Oh, okay.
It's really easy to make. I mean, again, inside of 30 minutes from when you start to when you're done. It's really that simple. But one of our viewers who's chiming in, and make sure you like us if you're listening, subscribe, like us, leave comments, do all that fun stuff. One of the people chimed in, Christopher D'Alessio, who could be a co-host of the Mangia Cast. I noticed the trend there. He said, Vrabel stole our cutlets. Look, we've been telling you all along here that if the Giants did not want to lose Tommy DeVito, they knew if they put him on waivers, he was going to get claimed. And evidently there were several teams that put waiver claims in. He wound up in New England because New England was fourth. Tennessee was first. Cleveland was second. The Giants were third. New England was fourth. And I think it's a great fit for him. I think it's a great opportunity for DeVito to reinvent himself outside of being just the Jersey kid. And I think he'll fit in with that offense. And, hey, listen, I'm fired up for Tommy.
Yeah, I'm happy for Tommy. So can I give you your props, Bob Papa? Can I give you some props on the Mangia Cast?
I'm not going to shy away from it.
I'll tell you why, everybody. I'm going to give Bob Papa his props. So he was on his Sirius XM NFL radio show airing it out with Matt Sims a couple of days ago. Was it with Matt? Or was it with
Monday? Yeah, with Matt. Monday with Matt. Then Tuesday with Rand Carthon.
Right. So
and Tom Telesco today. And last night, Believe in Giants with Carl Banks. And I've been consistent all along on this.
All right. So Papa, on his airing it out on Sirius XM NFL radio, he was like one of the first ones that said, hey, keep an eye on New England with Tommy DeVito. Keep an eye on New England. And Pop was 100% spot on. I think Rand Carthon, tell the story. Rand Carthon gave you your props. He said, hey, Pop, I just got a text. Great call with the Tommy DeVito signing New England. I got a text just now saying that's exactly where he's going. Go ahead. I give you props. Yeah,
I mean,
tell everybody.
Listen, I think there was, if you connect some dots with Josh McDaniels and where he grew up as a young coach and Brian Dable, all under Charlie Weiss Sr., on that Patriots staff on the offensive side. They had success together. There's commonalities in the offense. Now, Dable has, Dable has sprinkled in his own touches to that offense that has been used, especially going to college. He's added college concepts to it a little bit more from his 1 year at Alabama. But there's a lot of commonality, which is why Jackson Dart is a good fit with the Giants, with Charlie Weiss Jr. being his coordinator in college. So you connect these dots. And then after watching the quarterback for the Patriots, the third-string quarterback play, I'm like, DeVito is way better than this guy. Like, if they're planning on keeping three, and with Dobbs as the backup, who's super smart, I think this could be a great spot for Tommy to get away from the cutlets thing and prove to everybody that he's actually an NFL quality quarterback.
Bob, was there any doubt in your mind that if the Giants moved on from Tommy, if they released him, that he would sign with an NFL team right away? Was there any doubt in your mind about that?
No.
Because I've read a lot the last, Wednesday? I've read a lot the last few days where people thought, oh, no, he'll be back in the Giants practice squad. Who's going to want Tommy DeVito? Any doubt, Bob, that he was going to be on an NFL team real fast?
And and not the Giants. There's a whole bunch of teams. I don't know this for a fact. I wouldn't be shocked if the Jets would have put a claim in for him, but they went next. Now they did bring back Cook, and they added him to the practice squad. I didn't think there was any chance DeVito was going to be back on the Giants practice squad for one reason and one reason only. Where is he going? If you're the fourth quarterback, a lot of teams will carry a third quarterback on the practice squad, and then they can elevate that guy, but two on the active roster. If you have three on the active roster, and one of them is a first-round draft pick that you traded up for, how many reps would Tommy DeVito have ever gotten on the practice squad? None.
Right. None.
So I think that his time with the Giants, once he was released, I think that amazing chapter came to an end. And look, I will always say this. Tommy DeVito breathed life into a death season in 2023. He invigorated the fan base for about 4 or 5 weeks, where it was people, because think about last year and what it looked like last year. It was like just a march until it was over. Well, in 23, on that march until it was over, DeVito gave Giant fans, New York, New Jersey people, like a reason to watch the games and get into it.
Right.
And he won 3 games. He won a primetime game against Green Bay. He finished it up, 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions in his 8 starts. Good completion percentage. So he's got a resume, and now we wish him nothing but the best.
Absolutely. Good guy for Tommy. Not to mention he's Italian, right?
No. That's why we're talking about him on the Mangia. Although he did make a mistake. He was supposed to come on back in May or June, and it didn't work out. And now we'll have to wait until next offseason.
I think,
anything else grab you?
Look, the contracts. Terry McLaurin. That gets done. We both anticipated that. Trey Hendrickson. Cincinnati finally got that done. Best defensive player. And now the last one is Micah Parsons. My personal feeling, I know it seems to be getting, or is ugly down there in Texas. I still feel, Bob, that Jerry Jones will get this done with Micah. Jerry's the flair for the dramatic down there. He also understands we got to get this done with this guy. I know there's a lot of talk, I see a lot of stuff on X about him and the Packers. The Packers made this offer and all that stuff. I don't see Jerry letting him walk out the door. That's my opinion. I think it'll get done in the next few days. Mike will play those 20, 23 snaps, whatever it might be, next Thursday. And then he rolls from there. What say you?
I think Jerry will get it done like he always does. Whether it was Dak right before opening day or CD Lamb at the end of August. I don't know how much he'll play. Maybe a limited package. But I honestly believe that it's one of those scenarios where he's going to be out there and ready to go, but they're going to have to limit how much they use him. Because remember, they open up a week from tomorrow. Yeah. Not a week from this Sunday. So it's a short week.
Question for you, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
We were just asked this, being Jerry, on the Giant Insider podcast here on the Believe Network, sponsored by FanDuel. Who do you think would have more of an impact in week one? Say Micah signs in the next few days. He has to go next Thursday, right? A week from tomorrow. Who do you think would have more impact in week one? Terry McLaurin or Micah Parsons?
It's interesting because McLaurin spent a lot of the offseason rehabbing an injury, right? The ankle injury.
Yeah.
But he knows the offense. I think Jaden Daniels gives him an opportunity to have an advantage. My guess is Philadelphia will zero in on Micah Parsons and try to beat the living you-know-what out of him, just to see what kind of shape he's in. So I'm going to say that McLaurin will have a bigger impact in week one.
Yeah, that was my answer too, Pop. I feel Terry will have more of an impact against the Giants than Micah will against the defending champs next Thursday. Of course, Micah in those 5 to 10 snaps or 15 snaps he gets could make a huge impact in the limited time he plays. But I think Terry will be more ramped up, ready to go, familiar with this, obviously familiar with Jaden and the offense. I think he'll have more of an impact myself. I agree.
I think against another team, I could see the Micah Parsons like Lawrence Taylor signing his contract and coming in and getting 3 sacks like he did back in the 80s.
Yeah.
But remember, they're playing the Eagles in week one. The best offensive line coach schematically. Their pass protection concepts are really strong, and they can run the football. If they were playing against somebody else, I might say I could see Micah walking on the field and having 28 snaps and having 2 sacks and a bunch of pressures. Not sure you get that against Philly.
Yeah, it's a good point. Obviously, the best offensive line in the game. So it'll be interesting. I still think Micah gets it done. Jerry gets it done with Micah. We'll see what happens in the next few days. Obviously tomorrow. But Bob, can you believe? I mean, really, my friend, that a week from tomorrow, it all kicks off. The 2025 NFL football season. I can't believe it's here, bud.
No, I mean, and listen, it feels like we just invented this thing, conference championship weekend, when we came up with this concept and rolled with it. And now here we are, 8 days away from the start of the regular season. And, we're on live with our friends. I see Tutu is on here. Big move from Delray Beach, Florida. Wants to take me out to any restaurant when I come down to visit Delray Beach, where my man Jeff Sluman lives. PGA champion, and Slu's down there.
Delray, huh? Okay.
Yeah. So Tuto says it's 11 a.m. here, and we're starving. Tutu, I made a little spicy lobster tonight. What do you think, Tutu? Bet you guys would like that.
Oh, he would love that, Tutu. You know that. That looks out of this freaking world, by the way.
Again, a little bit later in the show, I'm going to show everybody how to make it.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, man.
Inside of 30 minutes. How about Rasheed Rice?
Yeah,
how about Rasheed Rice?
6 games for Rasheed, and that affects our Giants, right? They won't see him in week 3. But hey, look, I don't know. Waiver at first it was talking like 3 games, but the NFL proposed 6 games, and you told me before we went on the air that's pretty much official. So big hit for the Chiefs, right? 6 games for Rasheed.
Yeah, so much for the conspiracy theorists out there that were saying that the Vikings receiver gets suspended, Addison, but Rasheed Rice's suspension is not going to start until later, and competitive advantage, and they want the Chiefs to get off to a good start. I've been quoting this a lot because I watched this special on Lee Corso, but not so fast, my friend.
Yeah. I like that.
So he is, he's on the shelf. And look, this is not something that Kansas City didn't plan for. They have contingency plans. I'm sure they went into this. They knew a suspension was coming. They knew it wasn't going to be 2 or 3 games. And they probably were assuming that it's going to happen at the beginning of the season. So yeah. I believe that they will be ready to do what they have to do. And they've played without him in the past. It's not like they can't get to a Super Bowl or anything.
No, Andy, they were well aware that he was going to miss time, and Andy will have that team ready to roll. We know that, right, with that coaching staff. Hey, speaking of receivers, my man, I thought the Vikings made a great move getting back a guy familiar with the system, Adam Thielen. They need a receiver bad, as we know. Adam's back in the mix there with Kevin O'Connell. I like it, Pop. I think Adam's got a lot of ball left in him. Vikes need a guy bad. I like the move. We kind of thought maybe they would make that move, right? It was last week you were reading reports about them showing interest in getting Adam back there, out there in Minnesota world. And good move for Kevin O'Connell. Look, JJ needs a nice, reliable slot guy. McCarthy, I think he has one now besides, obviously, JJ on the other end. So what did you think? I like the move. I thought it was a smart move by the Vikes.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's going to fit in nicely. He knows the offense. And I saw some people said they could have gotten more at the trade deadline. My take on that is this, though. Is he going to make it to the trade deadline? He didn't last year.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 35 years old, and he had injuries last year. I mean, I think if you're a Viking fan, I think you got to pump the brakes. You're not getting the all-pro Pro Bowl Adam Thielen. And I think about Bryce Young, like he could have used a guy for another year that as a young quarterback developing and having Adam Thielen. Maybe they see, we're not at training camp. We're watching Giants practices. We're not at Carolina practices. We were not at the off-season program. We're not there in the building. Maybe they said, conceptually, it's a nice concept to have a veteran guy who knows what he's doing, but we don't really think he's going to make it through the season.
So you don't think it's a good move for Minnesota? You're not that crazy?
I think it's a good flyer, but I would go into it pumping the brakes a little bit. And I think Vikings fans need to go into this eyes wide open. It's great to have the hometown guy back. Adam Thielen is one of the great Vikings. He went to college at Minnesota State, all of it. But just remember, you're not getting the Pro Bowl Adam Thielen. You're getting 35-year-old Adam Thielen coming off an injury and a guy who's in the last year of his contract.
Right. No question about it. I do like the moves, though. I do like the move. I'm not saying you're getting 90-plus catch Adam Thielen, but I like it for J.J. McCarthy, too, Pop. I like it for the young quarterback who's basically a rookie. Okay, I know it's the second year, but he's basically a rookie on the field. So I like that. I think it's a good move to have that veteran for J.J. McCarthy. We'll see what happens, as far as him staying healthy and all that. But Brian Robinson, pretty funny. I was texting you the other day. Brian Robinson got traded to the 49ers. You were laughing at me saying you talk about Wan'Dale Robinson, the Giants, as you're breaking my chops a little bit. But Brian Robinson, hey, nice little compliment with Christian McCaffrey over there for Kyle Shanahan, right, in the 49ers. Like the move. spread it out a little bit, Kyle. Let Robinson run between the tackles. Big physical guy. Nice compliment to Christian. So, and let's face it, Christian's one of the best backs in the game when healthy, but health has been an issue with Christian. So if something does happen with Christian, you got Robinson there. I like the move.
Well, yeah, and I like the fact that Brian Robinson gives them a sturdiness that they lost with Deebo Samuel gone. By the way, Tutu wants to know what we're drinking. Tutu, we're both drinking the same thing tonight. Dow.
Yeah, little Dow, Tutu.
D-A-O-U, Dow.
Chin, Tutu.
Good California cap. Good people over at Dow. All right, so we'll kind of span the globe here. We're going to take some more of your questions if you want to weigh in on the comment box. But we talked about a trip that we made, I don't know, what was it, 2 weeks ago?
About 2 weeks ago, yeah.
2 weeks ago this past Monday night. Antique Bar and Bakery. It's in Hoboken, New Jersey. It was a bakery forever, and it's where Sinatra would literally every week his bread would get flown out from New Jersey to Palm Springs so that he could have the best bread that you could possibly get. So I said to Biz, let's do this. So I'm playing golf at Manasquan River, and Bob Costello was our host. And my buddy Timmy Shin says to me, he goes, Bob, he owns Antique Bar and Bakery. I'm like, what? Huh? I'm like, I love that place. And Bob then reaches into his bag. He gives me a sleeve of Titleist. It's got Antique Bar and Bakery on it, like the whole thing. So I said, we got to do an episode from there. So Lindsay, Tutu even gave Lindsay a shout out. Lindsay worked super hard because I'm trying to play the role of cameraman. I'm not that good at it. Trying to make sure it's lit properly. But let's take you on a tour of Antique Bar and Bakery in Hoboken, New Jersey. All right, so for years I would come to Antique Bakery to get my pizza dough, get unbelievable fresh bread, and then all of a sudden they turned it into one of the best restaurants. Check this out. So right here, I'd come in, I'd order my bread, they would have the bread right there. I'd ask them, hey, make sure you got pizza dough because I got to bring it back to Chatham. I'd buy 12 1-pound bags. Now it's one of the best restaurants that you're going to find. Come on in. All right, Gio, tell me what this great Antique Bakery oven can produce and what you guys are making.
Oh, we make a lot of dishes really good. This is the signature dish. It's antique bread pudding. So with some antique bread, salad is the more popular dish. People coming. Then we have this pasta station. We have a lot of pasta. We have cavatelli, squash carbonara, rigatoni, and this is the fry.
You don't have a lot of space back here.
No. And this is when the old Mangia is coming. The oven, 130 years old, 450 square. We cook all the burgers, steak, shrimp.
So everything. So this is the original Antique Bakery oven.
Yeah.
That for all those years produced all that amazing bread.
Yeah.
And you turned it into a culinary experience. The famed Antique Bakery.
Ooh, that bread.
How good was that bread?
Oh my God.
Sausage bread.
Hey, man.
On this sausage prosciutto. Bob and Chris Pizignano were at Antique
And eggplant.
Bakery restaurant in Hoboken, New Jersey. And Bob Costello is the owner of this place.
All right, so I come here tonight, and then I find out my man Bobby, the owner, is a paisan from Brooklyn, from Bensonhurst. I mean, we just sniffed each other out, Bobby. As soon as I walk in, he's a Bensonhurst guy. I'm a Bath Avenue guy. Papa's a North Jersey guy, and
Bronx.
Bobby. All right, Bronx. So it's one of those guys. Right? So,
we opened this thing up about 8 years ago. My brother had this vision to turn this bakery into a restaurant. We bought a liquor license. We kept the oven open, and now it's a coal-fired oven. We cook everything out of the coal-fired oven, and it's spectacular. We had no idea how popular it would be. We took a chance, and here we are today, one of the best restaurants in Hoboken.
Okay, so this is our 32-ounce dry-aged porterhouse. The rub on it is lavender, rosemary, thyme, pink peppercorn, and sea salt. Slow cooked in the coal fire oven in the hot hole, which is the hottest part of the oven. So the most.
Man, I'm getting hungry again.
Hey, Mangia.
There's Joey, Bobby's brother.
We're here with Joey, Bobby's brother, one of the owners of this unbelievable.
I think you're about
restaurant.
4 drinks in here.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm about 5
For the
drinks.
invite, the food. This food is insane. Okay. Hey, tell us about the place a little bit. I know Bobby told us a little while ago, but tell us, about the place and how it developed, how it came about. And look at this place on Tuesday night.
Yes, it's always packed. We're very blessed. We have a lot of loyal, faithful customers. Bobby and I found this place, 135-year-old bakery. It was Sinatra's favorite bakery in Hoboken. Basically kept it old and just built a restaurant inside it. We got a 30-ton coal-burning oven back there, 400 square feet, one of the oldest ovens in the United States. They don't make them like this anymore, and that's why we bought it.
Bronzino. It is a white fish served head to tail, served with a white wine lemon sauce on the bottom, and it is fully filleted. Here, we have our traditional lasagna edges, not your traditional take on lasagna. It is a 3-cheese lasagna with the cheese bread on the side, and it is baked in our coal fire oven, so you have a nice dark cheese shell on top. And then we have 2 wonderful side dishes here. We have our polenta Jenga fries with the garlic parmesan cheese floated on top. And then we also have our lovely asparagus, roasted asparagus with the garlic chili aioli sauce on the bottom with chili flakes placed on top.
And everything is made in the oven.
Dishes here of our spaghetti squash carbonara, so your traditional take on carbonara, except with spaghetti squash base. We have the pancetta in there, and then a fried poached egg on top, so when you cut into it, make sure you get that nice runny yolk showing.
Don't worry, Sean. We're going to talk afterward. We'll tell you where it is.
I mean, how about the fact that the carbonara is zucchini?
Here we have our seasoned glazed carrots with nuts on top. It has
The best
that
carrots
nice
I've had in my life.
flavor, so it's going to have a really nice kick
What's
to
up,
everything
Doc?
that's placed on the table.
Request one and Vito. One and Vito. He's requesting.
Our chocolate chip skillet cookie. It's a hard chocolate shell on the outside with vanilla ice cream on top and a hard chocolate drizzle. And our main event, our very famous bread pudding. Everything is house made as well.
This is
And
when
we have
Papa
our
was drooling on my leg.
syrup
This came
that
out.
we pour on top that is also house made. Definitely gonna want to get a shot of this.
Eyes on setting.
Food porn right there.
What a night, huh?
Lindsay, great job as usual.
Yeah, and the
Edit-
whiskey
edit
that
it.
they use for that sauce and the bread pudding,
Oh.
it's like they get it from Italy, and they're the only place that gets that specific whiskey to make that sauce. You had a question. Oh, Sean Malone wants to know, where is that? It's on Willow in Hoboken, Antique Bar and Bakery. You got to go check it out.
Antique Bar and Bakery at Willow Avenue in Hoboken. Go check it out when you're in the area. Unbelievable restaurant. Woof. Bob,
Your
that,
man,
I mean, I'm
your man
hungry again
Jerry
just
weighed in. Jerry weighed in. He's like,
They
they
had
had
me
me
a
at Porterhouse.
Yeah, Jerry, they basically had me. He had me too, man. Just an unbelievable place. Right, Bob? And Joey and Bobby. Just 2 ace people, man. Really are. So, great night, right, Pop? Great food. I think we'll be hitting that spot again.
Yeah,
Real
well,
stuff.
listen, a few nights earlier, Jackson Dart and Tommy DeVito were in there.
Yes. And I talked to. Go ahead. No, I was saying Jackson, Dart, and Tommy were in there a couple nights before me and Bob were, and I talked to Jackson a couple nights after the game, after the preseason. I saw Jackson. He came out after the presser, and I say, Jackson, I heard you really enjoyed Antique Bar and Bakery there in Hoboken. And he said, oh, man, love that place. He goes, what a great vibe. Looking forward to going back. So Jackson Dart, loved it. How could you not love it, right, Bob?
Yeah, I talked to Tommy DeVito in the cafeteria. I think it was like Monday morning or whatever, and I said, hey, I heard that you and Jackson. He goes, yeah, I got to go back to that place. Because I said, did you have the zucchini carbonara? He goes, no, I didn't have that. He goes, what's that? I said, Dude, it's not even pasta. It's zucchini that looks like pasta. And then they make with that egg and you crack it open and it becomes the carbonara. He's like, I'm going to that. He goes, that is on my to-do list.
Yes.
He's like, they ordered the bread pudding. He's like, we got.
Oh, they ordered the bread pudding, Pop?
He goes, oh yeah, we had the bread pudding. He said, but he goes, we between the two of us, he goes, I think we maybe ate a third of it.
Bob, I never saw bread pudding like that. When I came out, I was like, what the hell? And then Joey was like, he said, try this bread pudding, and they poured it. I was like, oh my God. And we were full when I came out. I still had to eat it. I know you were stuffing your face a little bit with it too. How could you not?
That Sean Malone says, hey boys, live on 8th Street in Jersey City.
There you go.
Sean, 277 8th Street. That's where I lived, right on Hamilton Park. Right down the street from St. Anthony's, the famed St. Anthony's High School when it was open. When it was still open. Good area to live. So we want to thank Bob and Joe Costello.
Yes, sir.
The entire staff at Antique Barn Bakery. And, we cooked with Benito's. We cooked with Vincenzo, or I cooked with Vincenzo down here in Ponte Vedra. But if you get a chance, check out Antique Barn Bakery in Hoboken because it's awesome.
Yep, awesome. And not to mention two great people, the owners, Bobby and Joey. So make sure you get over there.
Now we got to get you a sleeve of those golf balls.
Yeah. Well, we plan on playing in Bobby's place real soon in September. Hey, Bob, how crowded was that place on a Tuesday night? Come on,
it's phenomenal.
It was incredible how jammed it was on a Tuesday night. So
Hoboken summertime, it was great.
Yep.
So, what did you think of this thing? I saw this. Did you see that the team that is most bet on?
Oh,
What's that?
I know where you're going. I thought this was insane. Go ahead. Finish it up.
Yeah, we talked about this on my Sirius show. The team that has received the most bets to not make the playoffs this year so far, the Detroit Lions.
Where did that come from? Do you think people? Where did that come from? All I could think was that they feel Jared Goff is just not going to last the 17 games. He's going to get hurt. They have nobody behind them. What else could it? I
think it's losing. Bob, I think it's losing the coordinator.
But Bob, the most in the league, was it the most bet team? Is that what you said? Something? Whatever that.
They've had more people have bet on them to miss the playoffs of the playoff teams from last year. Like, you would think Minnesota, right? Yeah, they're basically starting a rookie. You would think that they'd be one of the teams. You would think, all right, I could see Washington because of the age that they have across the board. They got a lot of older players on their team, and I know Jaden Daniels is obviously super young. But you know how teams have a year and then they take a step back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know James O'Keefe saying they lost both coordinators. I got that. And I know Philadelphia, after they lost both their coordinators, didn't get back to the Super Bowl the following year. But, they still have a really talented team. And by the way, they did a lot of that damage last year without Aiden Hutchinson.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's back.
Mm-hmm. That's very interesting when you said that on your show the other day. Look, I get the coordinators. When we're talking about the playoffs, like I can understand people saying, like Chris D'Alessio just said, lost, or somebody just said they lost. Oh, James O'Keefe just said they lost both quarters. Okay, James, I'll give you that. They're not going to go 15-2. They might go, 12-5, and they might lose a few more coordinators. The Eagles finished. They had the second half of the year with the new coordinators. It didn't end well with them. There's a lot of stuff going on there in Philly, but not to miss the playoffs though. No. Listen, if I had a team that will not make the playoffs, if I was in that category, if I was a betting man, I would go with the Vikes with JJ McCarthy, without question, and not the Lions.
Anybody in the AFC
that made the playoffs
could take a step back?
Houston Texans.
Really?
Something tells me, yes, something tells me the Houston Texans are going to struggle.
Well, in order for them to not make the playoffs, that means they're not winning the division.
Something tells me about them this year. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't trust their offensive line. Joe Mixon being out the first 4 games to me is big. I don't know. I just something about. I know what you're saying, but like, okay, Biz, like, who the hell's going to win that division then? Right? What is there a surprise they're going to win it?
Listen, I mean, Jacksonville was in the playoffs a couple of years ago. They're not bad.
To keep an eye on. That's a team to keep an eye
on.
Look, can I say something? Could I say something, please?
Go ahead. You're going to say Indianapolis.
Pop, I know people are going to be like, Biz, you have lost your mind. That's a good roster. That all comes down to quarterback play with that organization because that's a damn good roster. And if Daniel could give him something, quarterback-wise, that's another team to keep an eye on. Go ahead. You could say it's Daniel, you're crazy and all that. But Daniel has a lot more talent around him now than he did with the Giants, especially up front with that offensive line.
Yeah,
that's another team to keep an eye on.
Yeah, well, I mean, we talked about that. We talked about, and I think I said it on my Sirius show, but you and I talked about this the last time we did this show.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jonathan Taylor is fantastic, but Saquon is Saquon. Okay, Saquon's in another level. So he played with Saquon. But in all honesty, this rookie tight end looks to be the real deal. Jones never played with anybody that good.
Nope.
And they have a better offensive line than what Jones played with. And they have better receivers than what Jones played with. Obviously, Jones played with Nabers for a couple of games last year, but over the balance of his career, he's playing with more talent on his offense than he's ever played with.
Well, Bob, one of your partners on Sirius XM airing it out in the morning, NFL radio, was it Elijah? Somebody he came out with a stat.
Elijah, yeah. They had 3 guys over 800 yards.
The Colts last year, 3 guys with over 800 yards, the only team in the NFL to do that. And I was like, oh, I was like, oh, okay. Wow, I didn't realize that, So there's a lot of talent. Look, we've talked about this before. There's a lot of talent. And that includes the defense. Okay, and now they've added to the secondary via free agency this year to try to show up that D. Well, that secondary was a major issue last year. Now they have Lou Anarumo. I think we both respect him and his work, right, over the years. At least I do. Not because he's from Staten Island, because I happen to respect Lou. I think Lou's a pretty good coordinator. They had nothing last year with the Bengals, talent-wise. And so they kind of shored up that secondary, went out and spent a lot of money. I like their linebackers. They're fast. I like the guys up front. I'm telling you, Bob, if Daniel could give him pretty decent quarterback play, keep your eye on the Colts. I know everybody has the Texas kind of jotted in already. Oh, they're going to win in the division 3rd straight year and all that stuff. I think they take a step back. I think either Jacksonville or Indy comes out of that division this year.
Man, Bob Costello he's watching.
Where's Bobby?
He left a comment. It's not under his name, though. It's RJC 1221.
Okay. There you are.
122 Willow. You're welcome back anytime. Biz wants to tee it up. He wants a sleeve of those Titleists, Bob.
Bobby, don't listen to Papa. He's pushing that. I didn't say that.
I do want to sleeve, Bob. Do you think all 3 teams from the AFC West get in?
No.
Or the 3 teams from last year? Do you think the Raiders can make a run and knock the Chargers out or knock the Broncos out? I ain't knocking out the Chiefs until proven otherwise.
I'm not knocking out the Chiefs. Absolutely not. No, I don't. You look at the overall roster. I know they got Pete now, Carroll. Gino's over there. But you look at that Raider roster and you say, nah, not this year for Pete. I have the Chiefs. Look, Harbaugh's a great coach, the Chargers. Although I'm a little down on your guy, Justin Herbert. But I think it's those 2 teams again. And Denver, 3rd team. You got to like Denver, man. But, Bob, if I had to go one team that's not, I'm going to go to Chargers, take a step back, and it's Denver and Chiefs coming out of there.
All right, Biz, you want to know how to make this real quick? The spicy lobster that I made tonight?
Yeah, even though you said I can't make it, but go ahead. Yeah.
All right, let's fire. Lindsay's got the picture. So it's really simple. You heat up your pan. My Made in USA pans, they are the best.
Mm-hmm.
Get some olive oil. You take 3 whole cloves of garlic and you just heat it up and you infuse the garlic. Those are 3 stems from the basil. So I infuse that. Then I then I take the lobster, throw the lobster in, and I start cooking that lobster in that. I dashed a little bit of white wine in there, let that go. Then I take the lobster out. I take the whole pieces of garlic out. I take the stems out. And now I've taken a whole bunch of cherry or plum tomatoes. I've sliced them up, and boom, I throw that in with a little fresh basil. I cook that down a little bit, a couple minutes while my pasta is cooking. Next step, I take some garlic, and I put slices of garlic, and then I took red chilies, the Calabrian chilies, sliced them up, put that in, just let that keep cooking down.
How long, Pop? How long, Pop?
The whole thing took me inside of 30 minutes. So you just kind of do it by, I put salt in there, and then just let those tomatoes wilt. Let that garlic get a little toasted in there. I ripped some fresh basil, put it in there. Now I got my pasta. Put the pasta in. I put the lobster back in. Put some more basil. Took the heat off. And now you let the starch of that pasta with the oil, and I took a little bit of pasta water, and it really makes a cream. Once you take that heat off and it's off a direct heat, I just stirred that thing around, and you make a sauce out of all those flavors. And you get almost a little cream at the bottom from the starch of the pasta water and everything else, and boom, inside of 30 minutes to the plate it goes. And there's your spicy pasta dish, and it's got a little kick to it with those Calabrian chilies. You got the tomatoes, you got the juice from the tomatoes. The lobster is tender. It's seasoned by all that stuff. And again, I saw Max Mariola from Italy on Instagram whip up this dish, and I'm like, I could do that. I'm going to just put a couple little wrinkles into it. I did my own little touches here with the white wine. There you go.
Well, it looks great,
cold.
Pop.
It's cold now, but it was gorgeous.
Oh man.
Maybe we'll get Bob and Joe to throw that put that as a Papa special the next time we're in.
We'll let them know we're coming, and
I'll show the chef how to make it.
Exactly.
James, James just wanted to know, is that, because I had to go quick on this thing. Normally what I would do is I would take the whole lobster and break it apart raw, because the claw meat is so sweet. That's where you get the sweetness. Right. And I would use the claw meat, and then I would use the tail and the rest of the body meat. But in this situation, I had to go fast because there was football practices tonight and all kinds of other things. So I had to kind of whip this thing up. But if you just use the tails, you can have this done in 30 minutes.
Let me ask you, did your son Max have any Christian McCaffrey open field 40-yard runs?
It was just practice.
Days or no? No, I mean,
it was just practice.
Was that his last game? Has he had a game since that 40-yard run?
No, this Saturday.
Oh, okay, this Saturday. Gotcha.
This Saturday. So, any other questions from our listeners and fans who are watching on YouTube? Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you put stuff in the comment box. If you're listening, or if you're going to listen to the rebroadcast, please like us. Please rate us, because your support is what's kind of keeping us going.
Pop, I guess let's touch on a little Giants for, obviously huge part of our fan base. Any surprise you think with the Giants, with the final cuts? Anything kind of reach out to you, say, oh wow, I didn't expect that, or
I think a little surprise with Elijah Chapman, but it became a numbers game. You knew they were never going to be able to keep Dulcich. Jerry Petraglio, Bergen Catholic class of 68. All right, welcome to the show. And he's got a vowel to end his last name. That's why he's watching. Dulcich wound up signing with Miami. It's a good opportunity for him. Who knows how long Waller will stay engaged. So he's probably thinking, I could get elevated right there. They went and they got a safety like we talked about via the waiver claim. Tommy Ilvento wants to know, are you surprised they kept Bellinger?
No, look, I was saying for weeks, Bellinger's not in trouble, guys. A lot of people thought Bellinger might get cut. No, absolutely not. No, not surprised at all. No. Chapman, look, because he was the numbers game, like Bob just said, was going to get him. But he's on the practice squad. He could get elevated 3 times and then put on a roster. We'll see what happens with it. But he is back. And I'm sure you're going to see him during the season.
Our first TV production meeting with Dable, where me, Sims, Banks, our TV production crew, producer, director, the Giant radio crew, when we first sat down with Dave's before that first preseason game, we had Howard Cross. He asked about the tight ends, and he didn't even blink about, obviously, Theo Johnson, but about Bellinger and Manhertz. They love Manhertz. They love Manhertz because he is a wrecking machine as far as the blocking is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that kind of hurt Chapman. DJ Davidson's play throughout not only the spring but in camp. They really like, and I think they want to be bigger up front. Listen, Chapman was a great story. And he did a lot of good things, and he's a good developmental player, but he is small. I know he can get up the field, but they feel like with Roy Robertson Harris, they feel like with Golston that they brought in, and some of the other pieces that they have, that they'll be able to get pressure, but they want big bodies up front to not get run on.
Yeah, agreed. I have to ask you about another issue on the Giants. Not an issue, but another thing on the Giants. Look, I brought this up in the Giant Insider podcast we've recorded before about Andrew Thomas. Bob, I'm not 100% convinced that he's going to be ready to roll in week 1. I'm not going to commit to saying, yeah, Andrew's going to be our left tackle. First snap of the game, 1 o'clock, 1:10. Giants get the ball. Andrew trots out. I'm not committing 100% to that yet. I want to see a little bit more of him. How do you feel about Andrew in week 1?
Well, I only saw him out on the field last week, and he looked like a guy that had a lot of rust to kick off.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing, Biz.
Yeah.
The guy that they signed to at least start in his stead, James Hudson, I think he'll be fine. He's been fine so far. It's not like what they were doing last year, where poor Azudu 2 years ago, and they had no answer. And then they're trying to move Illuminor over. Hudson is fine. He's not Andrew Thomas. Marcus Bowe has been outstanding if Hudson doesn't perform well. And by the way, I know Washington signed Von Miller, and I know they have Frankie Louvu, but it's not Micah Parsons. I think Hudson can hold his own against what Washington's throwing at him.
Mm-hmm.
There could be other games down the road where you're going to say, man, we need to get Andrew Thomas back when you look at some of the rushers that they're going against. But I think for week 1, if everybody's healthy with Runyon, Schmitz, Van Roten, Illuminor, and whoever, and with Hudson at left tackle, I think you can hold the fort okay. It's not going to be a train wreck. And the other reason why is just, I'll finish this thought and then I'll let you go.
No,
I'm hogging the time.
You're not hogging the time, yeah.
Like that prosciutto bread and sausage bread and the eggplant bread.
Well-deserved hogging, though.
I think the other thing to this is they have a quarterback who knows what he's doing with the football and understands what they're doing and will get the ball out quickly. There's a reason why the Giants' offensive line, and I'm not taking anything away from their offensive linemen, but one of the reasons why their offensive line looked so much better in this preseason, no matter who the quarterback was in, because all the quarterbacks understood the offense and got the ball out.
Absolutely. Look, we'll see how Andrew moves tomorrow. We're at the stage now with the media where we only watch like 15 minutes of practice. You watch some individuals and all that stuff. We no longer watch practice, as you know. We'll see next week how he's moving better. So I'm not going to commit to him being ready for week 1. We'll see. Like you said too, Bob. 2 things. That place is going to be going crazy in week 1, Washington. The fans are going to be going out of their minds. They expect the team, now that Terry's back too, they expect this team to be an NFC contender. Okay? So they're going to be going crazy. That's not going to intimidate James Hudson if he has to play. He's a vet, right? It's not like they don't have a Hudson. They got to go with the rookie Marcus Bowl left tackle where he might be like, start like this week 1. He's a rookie, man. These people are going to be going out of their minds. Okay? So Hudson's not going to be intimidated by any of that stuff. Great move by Joe, bringing him in. They realized their shortcomings last year with the tackle. They were burned by it with the Zudu and all that stuff. So it'll be interesting there. And like you just said, Bob, when you look at this Washington roster, very good roster, very good coaching staff. I like Joe Witt Jr., their coordinator. I love Cliff as the offensive coordinator. But who's getting the quarterback on this team, Bob? Right? You look at them and say, okay, who's getting after it up front? Yeah, they brought in the veteran Von Miller. Okay, what's he going to give you? Right? Obviously, it's not Von Miller from 5, 6, 7 years ago. Right? You look at them and say, okay, well, who's the guys up front that are going to get to the quarterback? I look at that Washington defense. Yes, they blitz Frankie Louval. They blitz Bobby Wagner a lot too. But there's no real stud up front, right? That you have to account for and say, okay, yeah, we got to account for this.
Well, when Von Miller comes to the game, you got to account for him.
Right, but he's not the Von Miller of years ago. I'm not looking at him and say, okay, this is, Von Miller. That's that stud up front. It might be on their roster, but are you that worried about Von Miller at this stage of his career? You have to account for him, but are you that worried for him? Do you think he's that much of a stud still for Washington?
Well, I think if you're a Giant fan watching this or you're a Giants fan out there, you hope he's still not that same kind of impact player and that you can handle him. We're going to find out week 1 when it's for real. There was one more question here because, and this is something you and I have pinged about. No rotating. No, this is from Big Moo. What if Nabers goes down? What's our plan B?
Yeah, no.
There is no plan B.
There is no plan B, folks.
I still think they're going to I still think that they may upgrade this position here at some point. There's some veteran guys that are out there. I don't know what the status is of Gabe Davis, but someone that knows the offense. Or they're hoping that, I don't even want to say they hope Jalen Hyatt emerges. No one's going to replace Malik Nabers.
No.
Right? If Nabers goes down, my question to you, Big Moo, would be, what if CeeDee Lamb goes down? What if Justin Jefferson goes down early before the guy gets back from his suspension? Addison. I mean, I won't say what if Jamar Chase goes down because they still have T. Higgins.
Well, even the 2 teams in our division, Pop, in the NFC East, like you just mentioned, CD, but all right, but they still got George Pickens on the other side. If Terry McLaurin goes down, they still got Dable. If Malik Nabers goes down,
no,
they're in trouble.
Right, because Slayton is Slayton. He's a good number 2, but he's not
a higher end number 2. We could just say that.
Yeah,
I mean, right?
For a guy that's, I think, what is his career high, like 800 yards?
Yeah, right around there. Yeah. Look, I have him like a 2A. That's the way I like the label. He's got like a Debo's a legit number 2. Here's a question for you, Pop. I just, maybe the last one about the Giants. We always like to touch on the Giants because a lot of our fan base, obviously, Giant fans. So Malik's he's going to have the most receptions. We know that. Number 2 on the Giants with receptions will be who?
Well, I mean, Wandale had the quietest 93 a human can possibly have.
And like 140 targets.
Yeah,
that changes this year.
8 yards a catch. I think you got an answer for me. I'm
asking you. I'm asking you.
Who do I think is going to be number 2? Well, I think Slayton's going to have more catches this year.
Yeah, it was great minds think alike, man. We think alike, Papa.
Now, Wandale's going to have a bunch of catches just because of these short whip routes and stuff. Let's get 5 yards on first down, run a whip route, boom, it's like a run. But I think Slayton's going to have I believe Slayton has the potential to have a bigger year. What do you have, like 39 catches last year or something, which was non-impactful. Nothing was impactful last year.
4 different quarterbacks, all that stuff. Yeah.
I think there's a good chance Theo Johnson has the 3rd most catches.
Oh, I'm with you right there. So we'll talk about that too. And look, Bob, so much of Daniel Jones and under Brian Dable and Mike Kafka was what? 3-step, boom, get out. A lot has to do with the offensive line over the last few seasons, but a lot of it was Daniel, 3-step, quick hit, the Wandale, quick hit, quick curl, quick this, right? Quick little out the Wandale from the slot and all that stuff. Well, Bob, to me, that changes a lot now with Russell. That changed. This is why I brought Slay into it too. I wanted to get your opinion on it because I think Slay is going to be a guy that finishes maybe number 2 in receptions this year because of Russell Wilson. Like that?
Yeah, I do like that. I like the way you're thinking there. And I also think that they're going to hit more. I mean, just watching Russell Wilson, they're going to hit more big balls this year. I mean, it's
absolutely.
I mean, think about Daniel Jones' last game as a Giant. How many guys were running wide open down the field and he didn't get him the ball? As Banks said on our podcast last night, think about the home game against Dallas. Nabers had to wait and fair catch the ball down the left sideline. That should have been a 70-yard touchdown.
Absolutely. And there was a few times where Slay was, when you look over the film, even during the game, Slay was wide open down the field, man. And it just didn't get to him, So I think Darius Slayton is going to really benefit from the addition of Russell Wilson.
Biz, because I lost you.
Okay, so until we get Bob hooked up on this live feed of the Mangia cast. Hey, look, I talked about this with Jerry on the Giant Insider podcast. I think Slay's going to really benefit from Russell Wilson. No longer just Wandale 100. Wandale had 140 targets last year. 140 for a slot guy. Okay? That changes this year. You're not going to be seeing Wandale with 140 targets. Bob, we got you back?
Yeah, audio-wise, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you got you.
I got you.
Okay, so no longer are we going to see Wandale getting 140 targets in this offense this year. Brian Dable and Mike Kafka want to get the ball down the effing field a lot more. Okay, and that's what you're going to see more. Like Bob just mentioned too. Look, we'll get Bob back in here. He's back up and running now. Theo Johnson, another guy, is going to get a load of targets and a load of catches with Russell Wilson in this offense. So, Bob, I don't have Wandale this year as the number 2 guy with the 7. I know you had 90. What was it, 93 last year, Bob? Right, 90 plus, whatever you had.
7.5 yards a catch.
7.5 yards a catch. Numerous catches before the sticks. Some key drops, all that stuff going on. Russell Wilson's here now. It's a different animal. Russell's going to get the ball down the field. That's what Brian Dable wants to do. He wants to be aggressive down the field. So now 140 targets, 90-plus catches from your slot guy. Not happening this year. Theo Johnson, much involved in this offense. Darius Slayton benefit from this offense. And we're hoping Jalen Hyatt is involved in this offense too.
Yeah, I mean, Russell Wilson has a little connection with Jalen Hyatt. He's trying to get the best out of him. He sees a tremendous upside in him. We'll see if it manifests on the field. I think the other thing that's going to happen here, like if Wandell and Hyatt are dropping passes, they're going to next
Not
man
messing
up.
around. Next man
They're
up.
not-
I don't care.
They're not tolerating. It's a different Dable this year.
Look, Bob, it's a different Dable, not a question about it. Without question, it's a different Brian Dable this year. So, hey, look, and I agree with you. You know, there's no toleration this year. Get him out. Get him out of the game. Guy drops a ball, whatever it might be. 2 drops, what drops it before the stick. Key dirt down, drop. Get him out. Get him out of the game. You know what I mean? So, I think that will be Dave's this year, his attitude. No, look, James. James, listen, I know a lot of people like to have this narrative of Brian Dable's ass is on the line. It would have to be really, really bad, James, for Brian Dable not to be a coach of this team in 2026. What do you mean by bad, Chris? What I mean by bad is like he loses the locker room, they win 2 games, and all that stuff, which I don't think will happen. What say you, Pop?
Yeah, I mean, they just can't. They can't start 1-6. They can't start 2-9. They got to be competitive. They got to play meaningful games Thanksgiving and into December. And then, however the chips fall, they fall. Then it's all right. We're trending in the right direction. Our foundation, our young players are playing well. If you know the rookie quarterback is playing at that point, maybe late in the year. And now you say, okay, here's where we are. We like the core we have moving forward. And then I don't think any change gets made. You just can't start 0-6. Can't be 2-8.
Can't be losing games because of Dable decisions too. That stuff like that will get him in trouble. So,
All right,
else,
Biz,
my friend?
That's it. So if you enjoyed Antique Barn Bakery that we showed you tonight, 122 Willow Avenue in the great Hoboken, birthplace of baseball, home of Sinatra. Make sure you go check it out.
Hey, Bob, tell everybody we're like a week away from doing what? What are we doing, brother?
We're going live.
Going live, breaking down football. Guests are going to be on, breaking down these games with us. We're a week away, everybody, from being live, breaking down, talking about these football games, having guests come on, and
me whipping up dishes.
Food. And Papa whipping up dishes. And some great analysis. What the hell's going on out there? We're going to have some great guests, like I said. So it's going to be a lot of fun, brother. We're a week away.
Make sure
Chris,
you like.
you're welcome.
Make sure you like us. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you leave comments. We'll answer them. Chris, well said, my buddy. Chin chin.
Chin chin, Papa. Have a good show tomorrow morning. See you soon.
All right, folks. We'll tell you the next time we're here, but we appreciate all of you, all your support, all you guys jumping on tonight. And thanks for joining us for this edition of the Mangia Cast. Chin chin.